This is Angie with In Style, and if you're looking for your perfect wine with a fabulous steak, Red PrimeSteak might be exactly what you're looking for. This year-old restaurant located in downtown Oklahoma City has hundreds of wines for you to choose from. So tell me about your wine list. What's all on it?
It's a really well-rounded list. We kind of focus mostly on New World wines, California wines, Oregon wines. We have a lot of Italian wines. I'm a big fan of Italian. So I've got a pretty extensive Italian list, and our French list is growing pretty well too. So we got a little something for everybody from everywhere. Lots of different kinds of tastes come in here. So one of my favorites on there is the Bergstrom Cumberland Reserve Pinot Noir. It's a Willamette Valley Pinot Noir made by Josh Bergstrom, and it is just out of this world. I have a soft spot in my heart for Oregon Pinots, and it really shows on the list.
How much a bottle?
It's about $100 a bottle. It's not your standard Pinot drinker's Pinot. It's really rich and earthy. It's pretty indicative of the Oregon style Pinot Noirs. A lot of people, when they think of Pinot, they think light, fruity, acidic. And it's got all those things except for the lightness part. It's not a particularly light wine, but it is just a beautiful work of art. It is.
Now, obviously, you all have steaks here, so tell us what people can expect.
We were the first restaurant in Oklahoma City to serve dry-aged steaks. So we have some 40-day dry-aged steaks on our menu, and we have some great prime beef. My personal favorite is the prime cowboy ribeye, which is a bone-in ribeye, and is USDA prime. And it's just out of this world. But I like a little fat in my steak. I'm not one of those lean fillet eaters. Maybe I should be, but we do fresh fish flown in daily. We do. You'll see a different fish special every time you come in. Of course, we have an array of lobsters, ranging from 8 ounces to 30 ounces, depending on the day. We do, of course. We've got some great salads, and we do some of the best fried chicken I've ever eaten. This was the state's first automobile dealership. It was built in 1911, and it was built as a Buick dealership. Wow. As a matter of fact, from outside the building, on the facade on the front, the big Buick logo is still up there, and we call it the Buick Building. As a matter of fact, our banquet facilities, one of them is called the Buick Loft, the other is the Buick Showroom. A lot of the stuff on our menu and on our drink list is sort of centered around the history of this building. A lot of the elements of the old dealership are still here. In the back of the building, we have a private room that sits on top of a big turntable where they used to manually turn the cars on the table to load them onto the freight elevator to take them to the third floor for service. The architect that designed the place is named Rand Elliott. We've done a fair amount of work with Rand. He's one of our favorites. He's an internationally known architect. He's done lots of stuff around town. And he's got certainly a kind of an industrial mind about him. The restaurant is sort of, you'll notice around the building, a lot of stuff is left really raw. You'll find graffiti on some of the columns, some of the support columns in the restaurant. You'll find graffiti on the walls, and some of this graffiti dates back to the 30s. And he just likes, as you can see with all the red neon and stuff, he's definitely trying to emphasize the whole red concept, the red earth, the red wine, the red meat. So you get that modern, progressive twist there, but then you've also got, the battered ceilings and the battered walls, and the whole thing kind of makes I kind of call it a post-apocalyptic industrialism. Every time you taste a wine, or at least every time I do, and really any time anybody does, whether their palate is trained or not, they can taste the artistry that goes into it from the winemaker. Each wine is an individual representation of an artist's craft. And even the really big, producers that produce, thousands and thousands and, 500,000 cases a year, there's still an element of artistry. Granted, once they get big enough, it's sort of is reduced to mechanized artistry. But I really just like how, you can take 5 different wines from the same area, made from the same grapes that taste completely different just because of the little twist the winemaker did or what the soil was like in that one little area differing from the other. And it's just fascinating to me. It's just, I mean, the possibilities are just endless. And no two are the same, and every one of them is a surprise. You know, when I taste it for the first time, it's just a lot of fun. I always look forward to what I'm going to get out of this next bottle of wine, really. A lot of people get intimidated when it comes to wine selection, especially with a list this size. And I feel that my job is to not do like some other, well, there's a certain reputation that sommeliers or wine stewards have gotten of being, the wine snobs and making people feel uncomfortable about what they like. And I'm a big believer in if you like white Zinfandel, drink white Zinfandel. I'm certainly there to find the best wine to pair with your meal. And I will find the best wine to pair with your meal, but if it's a wine that you don't like, then let's find something that you enjoy. That's the ultimate goal, is to make the customer happy with the bottle that they've purchased.